Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Once again, very good morning to you all. Students, today we are going to discuss a very easy topic, gerunds and infinitives. This is a grammar topic, and I'm sure you might have read this topic in your previous classes, but now, today, we are going to discuss it in a new way. So, let me read the learning objective. Learning objective is to be able to know the difference between gerunds and infinitives and their use. We are going to know about how gerunds and infinitives are different from each other and how they are used in our writing, how they are used in different sentences. So here we go. If you talk about gerunds, gerund is a verb in its ing form. Any verb in its ing form that functions as a noun that names an activity rather than a person or thing. Let me explain this definition. If you talk about this very first verb here, the word here, verb. A gerund is a verb. Verb means any action or any function done by someone. So verb in its ing form. If you are writing any verb with ing, like I have given the example here, running, moving, smoking, visiting, etc. So if you are writing these words and they are playing the role of they are playing the function of a noun. So noun means a name of a person or thing or a place. So if a verb in ing form, if the verb is playing the role of a noun in a sentence, so that is called gerund, and that noun names an activity rather than a person or thing, because noun is also, as I told you the definition of noun is something, noun is a thing or a place or a person, but gerund is not, but gerund in terms of noun is not going to be any person or a thing, rather it is going to be an activity, because here gerund is a verb. So whenever you will talk about a verb in ing form, and if the verb in ing form plays the function of a noun in terms of an activity, so that thing is called gerund, like running, moving, smoking, visiting, walking, eating, sleeping. So all these type of words are known as gerunds. So I know this will be a little bit difficult for you, but as I will use it in different sentences, I will make you understand it with different examples, so it will be quite easy for you to understand. Now, in your screen, you can see there are three uses of gerunds. Gerunds are used as a subject instead of a noun at the start of sentence. We know very well that there are three parts of a simple sentence: subject, verb, and object. Every simple sentence has these three parts: subject, verb, and object. Subject comes at the start of sentence, verb any action in the middle of sentence, and object is again any a person, a thing on which some action is done, that comes at the end of a sentence. The subject comes always at the start of sentence. When gerunds are used as subject, it means the ing form of verb is used at the start of sentence. At the start of sentence, so that is called gerunds. I'll give you the examples of this in next, after some time in next slides. We know that subject is always a noun. Like if you talk about simple sentence, he writes a letter. He he is subject, writes is verb, and a letter is object. He is subject, and in terms of parts of speech, he is also a noun. This is a simple sentence. But whenever we are using ing form of verb, whenever we are using gerunds at the start of sentence, that is called gerund as subject. I'll give the example later. Gerunds are also used as object, and we know very well, as I just told you, object is the part of sentence that always comes at the end of a sentence, and object always comes after action verb. Like he writes a letter, writes is verb, and a letter is object. So object always come after an action verb, and object is again a noun. So we whenever we use gerund instead of a noun as an object in a sentence at the last of sentence, that is called gerunds as an object. Gerunds are also used as gerunds are also used after some prepositions. These are three uses of gerunds. Let me give you some examples of each use. Gerund as a subject. How gerund is used as a subject? As I told you, subject always comes at the start of sentence instead of a noun. The smoking is injurious to health. Smoke is action verb ing. This is ing form of verb, and this is being used as a noun in this sentence. Smoking is injurious to health. So here smoking is gerund because smoking is not any action verb here. This is simply a thing or simply an activity name. So that's why it is playing the role of a noun. Whenever an ing form plays the role of a noun, that is called gerund. Playing cricket is my favorite activity. So playing cricket, now playing cricket does not mean that someone is playing cricket. Playing is any activity, the name of an activity. So this is ing form of verb, that's why this is called gerund. Staying home is the best thing to save your life nowadays. This is the reality. So if you stay home, it can save your life nowadays just because of the situation of coronavirus. So that's another thing. So let's come to the point. Staying home is the best thing to save your life. Staying is gerund here because this is being used as a subject here instead of a noun. Swimming is a very good exercise. Swimming is ing form of verb being used as a noun in place of a subject, that is called gerund. Swimming is, so these are four examples of gerund as a subject. If you talk about gerund as an object, there comes gerund are mostly used after certain verbs in the form of an object. As I told you that object always comes after verbs. Object always comes after verb. So gerunds are mostly used after certain verbs in the form of an object. For example, John quit smoking a year ago. Here John is subject, quit is verb, and smoking is used as object here. If we see, this is a ing form of verb, but this ing form of verb as gerund is used here as object. So John quits smoking a year ago. Smoking is gerund here. Some people prefer getting up early in the morning. Prefer is verb and getting is object here. And here when an object is being used after when object is used after a main verb, so and that object plays the role of a noun with ing verb, that's why that that object is called gerund. Please avoid going outside unnecessarily. Again, this is an advice for you. Please avoid going outside unnecessarily. So here going is being used as an object. So going is gerund. Some verbs that are followed by a gerund. There are particular verbs after that you can use gerund, like I used here: smoking, getting, going. You can use any gerund after these verbs with ing form, like keep, mind, consider, deny, discuss, end up, finish, feel, feel like, admit, advise, etc. There are many other verbs that are followed by a gerund. Like you can use gerund after these verbs. Now, if you talk about the third use of gerund, gerund after prepositions. There are certain prepositions after that you can use gerund. Like the first example is don't forget to wash hands before eating anything. Before is a preposition here, and eating is gerund. You always use ing form of verb after this certain preposition. So when after preposition you use any ing form of verb, so that ing form of verb is called gerund. Like I have bold here. This bold word is called gerund in this sentence. I gave up smoking last year. Up is again a preposition and smoking is gerund. After preposition you can use gerund. After having the dinner we will go for a walk together. You should always walk after dinner. After having the dinner. After is a preposition, and here ing form is called gerund. So these were three uses of gerund, like gerund as subject, gerund as subject, gerund as object with different examples, and gerund after certain prepositions. Now, if we talk about infinitives, as I told you in the very start of the video that today we are going to know the difference between gerunds and infinitives. So if we talk about infinitives, we'll definitely come to know that what is the difference between gerunds and infinitives. Gerund is the ing form of verb, but infinitive is a verb form that acts as other parts of speech in a sentence. That acts as other parts of speech. It is formed with two plus base form of verb. If I explain this definition, so an infinitive is a verb form in a verb form that acts as other parts of speech. Parts of speech means all the parts of speech that are used in a sentence, that are used in a speech. If we divide our speech, if we divide every sentence into different parts, they are called parts of speech, like noun, pronoun, verbs, adjective, adverbs, prepositions, conjunctions, interjections, articles. So these words are called parts of speech. Infinitives are used as parts of speech in sentence. How? This is what we are going to we are going to know after some time in next things, in next slides. It is formed with two plus base form of verb. Base form of means any action verb. So whenever you use two plus any action verb, that is called infinitive. Like to buy, to work. Two plus base form, any action verb. Base form of verb or action verb. Two plus base form of verb action verb. To buy, to work, to eat, to sleep, to walk, to run. All these sort of words with two are called infinitive. As we discussed the use of gerunds, there were three uses of gerunds. In the same way, there are three uses of infinitives. Like infinitives are used as subject or object in a sentence. This is again the same as gerunds were used as a subject and as object. Now, infinitives are also used as subject or object in a sentence. They are also used as an adjective modifying a noun. As I told you that infinitives plays the role of parts of speech in a sentence. So adjective is a parts of speech. So they are also used as an adjective modifying a noun. After certain verbs, infinitives are used after certain verbs. Again, the same thing we did in gerunds. Now we are going to know how infinitives are used after certain verbs. Here we can see infinitives as subject or object. Infinitives are used, the very first use is infinitives as subject and as subject or object. The first two examples are the use of infinitives as subject, because subject is something that always comes at the start of verb, and object is something that always comes at the end of a sentence. Like to help others is the best deed in this world. Like uh, nowadays in current situation of coronavirus, we should always help all the people around you. You should always help the poor people around you. You should take care of them in this current scenario. So many people are doing this, so we should try our level best to help poor people as much as possible. First example is to help others is the best deed in the world. To help is playing the role of subject here, and it is coming at the start of sentence, and to plus base form. So this is called infinitive. To help others is the best deed in this world. Next, to keep ourselves busy is difficult during current time. Again, I have used many sentences with that are real, that are reality actually. So to keep ourselves busy in during is difficult during current time. So this is really difficult for all the people who are having nothing to do. This is very difficult for them to keep themselves busy. So to keep ourselves busy, to keep is playing the role of a subject in this sentence, because subject is something that always comes at the start of sentence. To keep ourselves busy is difficult during current time. So this is again infinitive. So if we talk about infinitives as object is something that always comes at the end of sentence. So Ali always forgets to eat. To eat is infinitive here because this is to plus base form. Ali always forgets to eat. Better keep one thing in your mind. After every time after to, we are supposed to use first form of verb. That's why I'm using the word base form of verb again and again. Base form means first form of verb. So Ali always forgets to eat. Here to eat is infinitive. They are learning to sing. They are learning to sing. Learning is action verb. Object to sing is playing the role of object. So here this is infinitive. Now on your screens you can see infinitives as an adjective. Before we move forward, let me explain once again. You know very well what is adjective, but let me explain. Adjective is any word that explains a noun. Adjective is any word that explains, that modifies a noun, that describes a noun, that tells something about the noun, that adds to the meanings of a noun. Any word that explains and describes a noun is called adjective. So how infinitives are used as adjectives, we can see here. Sana has the ability to succeed. Here ability is what? Ability is the noun. Ability is the noun. Now this, the word ability is being described by, the word ability is being modified by to succeed. Here to succeed is infinitive, and this to succeed is playing the role of adjective because this adjective is modifying the word ability. This adjective is describing the word ability. That's why this is called to succeed. And this is an adjective, and adjective is a parts of speech. So this is how infinitives are used as parts of speech. It's difficult to get up early in the morning. Difficult is a noun. So to get up, again, this is infinitive, and this is also an adjective because this infinitive is playing the role of an adjective here, and this adjective is describing the word difficult. It's difficult to get up early in the morning. These are two examples of infinitives as an adjective. Infinitives after certain verbs. Infinitives are also used after certain verbs, like we discussed gerunds after certain verbs. In the same way, infinitives are used after certain verbs, like they decided to leave early for Lahore. So decided is a verb, so after it you use to. Decided to, then after to you always use base form of verb. So this is to leave is infinitive here. So she plans to arrange a party after exams. Plans is a verb, action verb. After plan you always use to. So then after to you use base form. So to arrange is infinitive here because this is being used after this verb plan. So she plans to arrange a party after exam. There are some common verbs that are followed by an infinitive. This is the same thing that we discussed in gerunds. Like some verbs that are always followed by an infinitive, like expect, fail, forget, hope, pretend, promise, refuse, remember, seem, stop, fail, wait, wish, want, and many more. There are dozens of verbs that can be used that are always followed by an infinitive. Like if you talk about this word forget, so I can give you the example of he forgets to do homework. Forget to do. To do is infinitive. Ali promised to come on time. Promised, main verb, to come. To come is infinitive. There are verbs that can be followed by either gerund or infinitive. These are on your screen. You can see the verbs, and these are some verbs that can be followed by either gerund or infinitive. Like you can use ing form of verb after these words, or you can use to plus base form of verb after these words, like begin, or like, or continue, hate, love, stop. forget, remember. If you talk about the word, if I give you the example of the word continue, so I can tell you continue. He continues to do home to do the work. He continues to do the work. He continues to do. To do is infinitive. If I say he continues doing the homework, doing is gerund. So both are correct. So this word, these the words on your screen that are all that can be followed by either gerund or infinitives, both will be correct. So thank you from my side. That's it from my side today. Inshallah, we will be with you with a new topic, with a new passion, and with a new enthusiasm in next video. I hope you have got each and everything. Thank you very much for listening. And yes, if you have any question, you can ask in the comment box. You can ask in the classroom. You can ask in the video in my YouTube channel. I thank you so much once again.